Hi there. Well, since part 1 I've taken the bike back to the dealer because having spotted that damage, I wanted to make sure that they realised it wasn't me that did it. So I went straight back to the dealer. They came out, they've straightened the gear lever for me, so I've no issues with that now. It's exactly where it needs to be. So the hand and foot ergonomics now are absolutely spot on. Yeah, the only thing I was struggling with was that gear lever, which it turned out was bent. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. Whether they know who did that, I don't know, but this bike's obviously been dropped. We've got scratches on the clutch lever on the left hand bar end and also on the left hand grub rail. So yeah, somebody dropped it. Anyway, yeah, so we're now on a road actually, and by pure coincidence this is actually the road that we took on the one ride where my GoPro wasn't working, so I'll get to show you a little bit of that first part of that one ride today, so that's handy, isn't it? The guy in the shop was very insistent that I put it in performance mode, so it'd be rude not to, I guess. I've been in eco mode up to this point. Performance, okay. Right, so we have got some bends to play with, so let's go. On that, okay. I think you can probably get the front wheel light if you're braver than I am. That wasn't full throttle and things happened. So what I've noticed on the ride out here is that, yeah, the suspension is firm, but it's comfortable. I've been over some pretty big speed bumps, and yeah, that the suspension isn't soft, but it doesn't transfer the shocks into your spine. It does a good job. So yeah, it's firm but comfortable. Again, I had to do a little bit of motorway to get here, and I've got to say, even at 90 k's, the vibes, I think I was in 6th gear the whole time, the vibes were minimal. It was no problem. 90 or 100 k's, I think I could ride at that speed quite happily on this bike. As I mentioned in part 1, the vibes are mainly through the pegs, very little through the bars really, even at speed. So that's good. And also vibes through the pegs. I haven't got the thickest of rubber soled boots on at the moment. I think with my other boot, the thicker rubber sole, I'd get even less vibes through the pegs. So currently, I'm not having any issues with this engine. I think it's fine for me, and I do like the way it shoves. This is the best front brake I've had on any Royal Enfield to date. It's still got quite a soft feel to it. It doesn't feel like it's got bite, but it's very effective. Doesn't need a lot of pressure to start off speed. It's a two-finger job. it's definitely a little bit more fun tackling a road like this with this little bit of extra power, or practically double the power of the 350s. You can have a little bit more fun, get a little bit of an adrenaline rush when you get on the gas. So I think we went right on the one road, so we'll go right. Oh, building site. Seem to be retracing the one ride route quite successfully, I think. I definitely remember this petrol station. Compared to the Himalayan that I rode, the 450 Himalayan that I rode, I'm finding the throttle response here to be more linear. I don't feel like there's that weird dead zone, or dead and I don't do very much zone. When you pick up the throttle, it kind of picks up like you would expect a cable throttle to do. In terms of ergonomics, yeah, I'd say my feet are a little bit higher than I would like, and I'm not the longest of legged people, but yeah, the angle in my knees is a bit extreme. But obviously they want the pegs high, presumably for ground clearance. This is supposed to be a bit of a scratching tool, which I won't be doing today because it's not my bike, and I don't know how good these tyres are, but it certainly feels like it can do the job. But yeah, for long rides I probably want the pegs a little bit further away from me, and the pegs feel a little bit crunched up. We're leaving it in fourth here, where ideally we'd probably be in third, but it'll pick up a very little throttle, and if you give it a handful, it really picks up. So yeah, response is good. Yeah, I mean, I'd enjoy this road on Buddy or Norman, to be honest, but yeah, with a bike like this you've got the option of having a little bit more fun with it, I guess, because you can like gun it out of the corners and things. So yeah, it's living up to the hype. I watched Motorcycle News and a few other reviews, and they were all saying it's a fantastic bike for chucking about on a nice mountain road, grabbing it by the scruff of the neck and wringing its neck. I would tend to agree. It's a pretty thing. Right, so I'll just take it a little bit further down this road, and then I need to turn around and go back because I don't want to overdo it with the time that I've had the bike. I don't want to get too close to the lunch break either, so I'd like to have a little chat with them when I do get back. But yeah, this is basically the first part of the one ride that took us down this road here. So this is what you missed, unfortunately, because the GoPro was being silly. Right, I think I'm going to turn around here because I don't want to overdo things. Yeah, turning circle's pretty decent on this bike. Look at that, no problem. Yeah, this road's very twisty and it starts ascending a little bit further on. It's a nice road and we will revisit it on one of my own bikes at some point, so I can show you that in its entirety. Yeah, she goes. Yeah, that front brake is really good, really reassuring compared to previous efforts. I like that. So this is a really bad place to pick up a broken down curve. Maybe roll it back down the hill away from the bend, but no, I'll just do it in the middle and get it in. Yeah, I must say, although this engine does have its issues with vibration, on this bike I don't think it's going to be an issue for me, and it is in all other respects another fantastic engine from Royal Enfield, really, because you know, it picks up from low revs nicely, the fueling is spot on. Like I said, it seems like the throttle curve's a bit more linear on this model than it was on certainly the early Himalayan 450 that I tried, where there seemed to be quite a large dead zone at the bottom of the throttle. That's not the case here. It's nice and linear. Front brake's good, as I said. Suspension, sporty, but works really well. Manages to keep the shock out of your body when you go over a speed bump or a pothole. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to like about this bike. It is fun as well, and also it's kind of, you know, it's the kind of fun that you can probably have without being too stupid. You don't have to be doing stupid speeds. If you keep this in the bottom 3 gears on a twisty road and ride it like a 2-stroke, I think it would let you do that, and it would probably be a bit of a riot. But I know I did have a go at the Himalayan for its vibrations, and I could only speak as I found it, and that was the case. It did seem excessive to me, and that is not the case here at all. It's not the case at all. Yes, of course there are vibrations at certain speeds, certain conditions, but mainly through the feet. And as I said, I haven't got the thickest of soles on these boots, so I've got some other boots that would cut down that a little bit. And through the bars I'm getting very little indeed. So great job. I forgot to mention in the walk around there was a USB port. It's just there, look. So you don't have to worry about charging your phone, that's all taken care of. I know that's actually a common complaint with the Himalayan as well, that the indicator warning lights, they're very low down in the display, so they're kind of, they don't catch your eye and they're not very bright. So they are actually quite hard to spot, so yeah. But if I got this bike anyway, I would get it with an analog dash, and you should get proper LED lights flashing, which is a little bit easier to spot. And well, the if you're not going to use the navigation, and I never would, I don't see why you'd have a screen with a load of nonsense on there that you don't need. Just give me the analog dash and I'd be happy. Right, so just time for some final thoughts before I give the bike back. Many thanks to Motos Matilla for letting me have a go on it, and for straightening the gear lever for me. One thing I forgot to mention was seat height and suitability for shorter peoples. Well, I've got a 30-inch inside leg, and that's how I'm sitting on a bike, sort of 3/4 flat foot on each side. So 30-inch inside leg is easy enough, and 29, 28 would be alright as well. So yeah, nice low seat height for you. Any things I don't like about the bike? Well, I'm struggling, to be honest. I was afraid that I wouldn't like the vibrations, but they seem to have done something to lessen the impact of the engine on this bike compared to the 450 Himalayan that I rode. So the vibrations for me, they're not a problem. Of course they're present, but they're not a problem, and I can mitigate that with some thicker boots as well. Yeah, I guess the indicator switch is kind of floppy and wobbly, and it's not precise at all, so you never really know whether you've got your indicators on or not. It's a little bit imprecise. I think that's probably about the only thing. I'd like that to be a little bit clickier, a little bit tighter. Everything else really good. Good brakes, lovely gearbox as expected, 6 speeds. Side stand is very easy to get hold of on this because they've got a little extension on there, so that's lovely. That's very easy to find. A lot of manufacturers don't think to do that, and you end up burning your shoes on the exhaust or something, but no, that's very good. I like everything about it really, apart from that indicator switch, I think. And yeah, I'm not a fan of this digital nonsense. I'd go for the analog dash if I can. So very happy with it. I think I could recommend this bike to anybody. I think it's just such a good value package with decent suspension from Showa, good brakes. You could say at last from Royal Enfield, but really good brakes. I don't have any issue with the brakes whatsoever. It's definitely a 2-finger operation. Great value, so light, easy to paddle about. I mean, look at this, it's like a push bike really, you know, that's uphill. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. The weight's nice and low down, again unlike the Himalayan where the tank was up here somewhere. Yeah, so I thoroughly recommend it. I need to go away and think about whether I'd get one. First of all, there's the financial aspect, but more importantly than that for me is the time aspect. Because if I did get one, it would have to be my 3rd bike, and I'm not sure I have time for 3 bikes, so I'm going to have to think that one over. But I really like it, and if I didn't have any other bikes, I'd probably be ordering this today. It does everything I expected and more. The engine is gentle when you need it to be, and it's violent when you ask it to be, you know, when you give it some gas and get some revs on. So I think this would be a great bike for just about anybody. It's a lot of fun to ride. Yeah, so thanks again to Motos Matilla for letting me have it, and yeah, I recommend a test ride if you're thinking about getting one. If you can get a test ride, of course, that's always the best thing to do. And if you're in Spain or in the vicinity of Almería, just be aware at the moment, as of where are we now, the end of September, Motos Matilla do have this bike on demo, so maybe get down there and have a go where you can. So I'm off to give it back now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this kind of useful. Mainly I did this for me, of course, because I'm seriously thinking about getting this bike. So I'm not a reviewer as such, as you may have noticed. I only review my own bikes or bikes that I'm thinking of potentially buying. So hope you enjoyed this one. I'm off home now to get Ruby a sausage, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
So Ruby, while Daddy was off playing with other people's motorbikes, you did such a good job of looking after the house for Daddy that I think it's time for sausages. Sausage. Oh. That's it. Good girl. Sausage. There's a fly. Annoying. Nice one.